Well, this is Baruch at the Tigun Elevator Kollel, and I've decided that I'm going to try this because I saw yesterday in the Sabbath of Mishpatim saying goodbye to Rebbe Shimon that nobody wanted to really reveal their names, and you see this in other places. A Kabbalist will write a book, and they don't put their name in it. The idea is the ideas that are in it and the connection with Hashem. So I'm going to call myself Saba because I am a Saba. I'm old enough to have grandchildren and so on and so forth, and been around. So now we're going to go over here, and this is your very own Saba. I'm bringing you to page Kaf Daled in the Matok Midvash in Parashat Titzaveh. And what we're going to look at is what the Zohar says and what the Matok Midvash can help us with. So let me bring this up like that. So he says, Va'ata hakrev alecha. So he quotes a pasuk. And it goes on, it says, Aharon nachicho, Aharon, your brother. Vesbanav and his children. Also, Matok, Ito, with him, Matok b'nei Yisrael, l'kahanuli, to serve me as a priest. So I'm a Rebbe Shimon. So Rebbe Shimon asks like this. He says, Lo shimish Moshe de'ihu shimsha. He says, Lo shimish Moshe. Moshe did not work Shehu so the Shemesh because he is the secret of the sun. The sun which is in Tferes. Besichro, the Levana Shehi Sod HaMalchus, which is the Sod of Malchus. Now what did he say? He said the Zohar says, Lo Shemesh Moshe Besichro, he didn't work with the moon. That's all it says. That Moshe is the sun and the moon. Now what does he mean? So Besichro, the Levana, that's another word for the moon. Shehi so the Malchus, which is the secret of Malchus. Malchus has nothing of its own, it's empty. But it gets light from the sun, and then it shines. Ratzon Loma Na'asach of Moshe Rabbeinu Merkava the Tiferes. He did not make himself as a conduit for the light that's in Tiferes. Sheyuchel Ligrom Yichud Kudshi Barichu Malchus, which has the ability. The light of Tiferes is for the purpose of making a yichud between in all aspects of opposites, to bring everything together, which is called the yichud of Zer Anpin in a Malchus. Ad is kalil b'chol sitrut b'roz devov. So he could not do this. Ad shenechlal Moshe lamata, until Moshe incorporates himself down below b'kol hakitzvos Besod Osvav, with all of the different midos, which are called the 6 kitzvos. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, and that's a Hod Yesod. Kadesh Yiyu Tiferes Nichlal Lamala, so that Tiferes should be able to be incorporated up above, because the Vav stands between two Hays. Is that what he means? V'roy ala Yichud, and he's fit to make Yichud. He has all of the Shefa within him. Kamda Kimna, this has been explained. We explained this apparently previously. V'hainu v'ata, shehu sod yichud zun. So zun is the yichud, also known as the yichud of Kudsha Barichu v'shkinte. ZOHAR v'nuk, it stands for male and female. V'hainu v'ata shehu sod yichud zun. Hakrev alecha, bring that to you. Tikrov of the Yached as a Malchus El HaTiferes, he says, bring near, join together Malchus and Tiferes, Shehu Midasacha, which is your Mida. Your Mida is to blend. The Malchus with Tiferes. You are a blender, because what the blender does is he prepares and repairs all of the pipelines between the Kodesh Baruch Hu and the world of the person who needs to pray. until he could become incorporated in the Midah of Chesed. The Midah of Chesed is really the Bechina of the Kohanim. Im Hagavura Bechinas Levim were together to combine that with the Gavura Levina. In other words, if you could put Moshe Rabbeinu has the ability, he's a Levi himself. It's interesting. But here the Zohar is telling us, and the Matok Midvash is telling us that he's actually the Bechina of Tiferes, the middle line, the blender. Nitaflim aleim. So therefore, netzach and hod, they can become tafel. In other words, they're secondary to them. Shehem anpi hachug, which are actually extensions or branches of chesed and gevura. Atochazi, he says, makasiv. What's the meaning of this phrase? Bavarei masha kasev metoch b'nei Yisrael lekahanuli, from the midst of the Jewish people to serve me as kohanim. Lakahinli, so in lakahano, seems like maybe it's plural. I don't know. Let's see what he says. Lakahanoli, lakahinli, lo kasiv. That's not written to be a slave to not a slave, a Kohen to me. She'az hoya choizer rak ala Aharon. So then it would refer only to Aharon. Ela lakahanoli, to do priestly work for me, together with the letter Vav here. Yisera, it has a Vav, doesn't need to be, because Lakahinli could have said that, why the Kahanuli? So he wants a darshan that this Vav has a meaning. So he says, Shepirusha, Lishimusha delay. For his Shimush. What is that? The Shimush shall Moshe, because of the work, the servitude that Moshe performed. Ritzon Lomar, that is to say, Masha Aharon miskarav v'lachol. So what Aharon, this phrase, Aharon miskarav, is brought near to you. V'nichlo b'kol, and becomes incorporated within you. And remember, Moshe, according to this metaphor, is the middle line. It's the line of Tiferes, the line of the blending. He calls Aharon to come. Who is Aharon? Ritzon Lomar Masha Aharon miskarav v'lachol. So when he comes near to you, Moshe, nichlal bo, and becomes incorporated in you, hu lukahano l'tiferes, is to serve as a Kohen. I guess he means to an aid. Try to get a. We know that Kohen means priest, but actually, what is the connection between the Kohen and the Kodesh Baruch Hu? He said, nichlal bo. Hu lukahanu li, the Tiferes is to serve for me as a Kohen for Tiferes, the Hainu. The Shimusha the Asda. The Shimush shall os Vav, that is the work of this letter Vav, which is the middle line. It's as if you're taking the concept of Kohen, which the concept of Kohen is the concept of chesed. You're taking that chesed and you're bringing it through this vav into the vav. B'ke'ilu choyu kosav l'kayin vav. That's the Frisch. The shimusha delay for the servant, for the purpose of working for it. So he said vada. He says vada the shimush shall the Tiferes hamishtamesh im malchus. So this is he brings the kindness in. To see this constant kindness. Along the Yichud way, you have to bring Aharon. Aharon is another word for kindness, as we've seen in other places that Avraham Avinu is kindness. It comes through Aharon. He brings that to Tiferes, Moshe Rabbeinu. L'shimosh shel Tiferes, amishtamesh in a malchus, who's now going to work with malchus. Mishtamesh, the use of the word the mishtamesh, what does exactly it means? He means to make a yichud, to work together. Ki milas li da os he. Li, he says the word li, It's like the letter, I think he means Lamed Yud. What does that mean? Shehi HaMalchus. Maybe I got this wrong. I'm Sod Yud Ze'ira, which is the secret of the little Yud. Vihi Sod Os Hey, which is the secret of the letter Hey. Now I'm not sure how he did this. I really don't know. I'll read it. You know, he gave it 3 readings. So that's I learned that from Yaakov Hillel. Ki milas li do. This word li, kahanu li. He's carved li. What was his phrase? He says, Hakrev alacho. Okay, but I just can't pick it up right now. Here it is. The kahanu li. So this word li, the kimidas li, what does li mean? Da os hey. Now how do you get from the word li, do you get to the letter hey? Li, he, kamo, the yud, to the yud, sheha malchus, sod yud zeira, vihi sod os hey, which is also the secret of the letter hey. Now I know you can make a dalet and a yud into a hey, but I'm wondering what he's possibly the way I'm learning it now is that the lud means two, the yud, which is the yud zeira, he said. V'hisod os hey, which is also the secret of the letter hey. So somehow he means malchus. Allah l'shamasha vav behei. So this is to bring her up. The shamasha, to work with the vav in her. They call this for the shamesh os vav, the teferis, that is to the kones. The l'shamesh os vav, the teferis, behei shal malchus, is to create that yichud. The meheve kula chad shehi hakol biyachad beyichud echad. So the idea is to bring all of this yichud back. So hey echad, shemo echad, which is translated better. So Hashem echad, shemo echad. So this is all about yichud. I'm still puzzled if somebody has an idea what to do with this word li. I translated it. This is my 3rd time. He said the yud, to the yud. He kamo the yud. Shehi hamalchus, the yud is called the malchus. So yud zeira, it's the secret of the small dot, because yud is also a dot. Vihi sod os hey, and it is the secret, that dot is going to grow into the letter hey. Now this is my best interpretation. If you had another interpretation, because there are people a lot more learned than me out there, maybe listening here, send me a comment in the comments section. So he says, what's the idea? So to bring this hay together, to bring her up to work with the vav. The concept of the shamish as vav, to be a servant or be work together with the letter vav, the teferis. Behei shel malchus, that is the hay and the malchus with the vav of teferis. Sheyiya, so he says, Sheyiya hakol beyichud echad, so that brings everything into complete and total oneness. And part of this is the importance of bringing around Aharon HaKohen. Besod Hey Echad, that is Hashem Echad, Ushmo Echad. Okay, so that's where we got to today. Today, I think, is the 19th of Av, 86. And this is your very own Saba speaking, Baruch. Whoops, not using the name anymore. Your very own Saba here.